School's back in session and I'm handing out grades. But before we begin, we publish theme park videos on this channel all the time. So hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button so you'll know when another video is ready for you to view. Today we are at Universal's Islands of Adventure. I'm going to walk around the whole park giving out grades for each ride, A to F, just as if we were in school. And we are going to start right here in Marvel Superhero Island at the Incredible Hulk roller coaster. The fastest ride at Islands of Adventure at 67 miles per hour. A super fun launch. Cobra rolls, big loops, a lot of fun. What could we give this one? This one is an easy A. Yeah, the Hulk is the teacher's pet. It sets the curve. Next up here we have Storm Force. Let's see what to do with this. It's not very unique, you know, very similar to the teacups they have at Disney. If you go to state fairs, there's plenty of rides very similar to this. Some of them more thrilling than Storm Force. So I think what we have to do with this is perhaps, let me think. It looks like we're going to have to give Storm Force Acceleratron a C. Let me know in the comments below. Too high, too low? You let me know. I guess I should share my grading system with you guys. I was not up all night looking at algorithms on my scientific calculator, on my graphing calculator, on spreadsheets. I was not doing any of that. It's very unscientific. We're gonna walk to the rides. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna ponder for a second and give the grade. It's all based on my gut feeling. Dr. Doom's Fearfall. What do we do with this one? Oh boy, what can I say? The launch is an A. That first launch up and then like the first drop down, that's an A. But as you can see, the rest of it, that bouncing up and down, that's actually kind of relaxing. So this is a tough one. I know this ride's not an A in total. Is a C too low? Is a B too high? Oh boy, I'm gonna go with, because of the launch is so thrilling, I'm gonna give the total grade a B. Let me know in the comments below, do you agree or disagree? I think that's a fair grade. Not as good as the Hulk, but no way does Dr. Doom deserve the same grade as Storm Force. So I think we found the right spot with a letter grade of B for Dr. Doom. Spider-Man. Now this ride has won many industry awards as the best dark ride at any theme park. For me, this is an easy, a very easy A. And the wait time is just 5 minutes. Let's take a turn on Spider-Man. We love it so much.
Where you down from here? You punks are short-circuiting enough! Land long enough! You're taking a dive! Yes again, Spider-Man! Happy landing!
Yeah, that was fun. That was super fun. My oldest kid, Caitlin, her favorite ride at Islands of Adventure, in fact. So to sum up Marvel Island, we had 2 A's, right? Hulk and Spider-Man. Then we had Dr. Doom coming in with a B and Storm Force with a C. There's your class leader so far. Into Toon Lagoon to grade the water rides here at Islands of Adventure. Toon Lagoon is home to 2 rides. They are both water rides. And both of these rides will get you soaking wet. But does that mean they both get the same score? We'll find out in a second. Popeyes and Bluto's Bill Rat Barges. This is another A for me. Let me tell you why. This is a fast-moving whitewater river. Gonna get some speed on this thing, but also the reason it really gets the A, there's a few spots in here where you get some big water, where you get absolutely drenched. A couple big waterfalls that are going to just soak you to the bone. Without a doubt, this is an A-level water ride. Moving on to the other water ride here in Toon Lagoon, it's going to be Ripsaw Falls. Will it measure up? Will it grade as high as Popeyes and Bluto's Barges? We'll see. Ripsaw Falls is a log flume water ride with one heck of a drop. I'll give it that. The drop, that grades as an A, but what about the rest of the ride? I have to admit, I'm not crazy about the rest of the ride. There are a couple of spots in the ride that will get you wet when you're on it, but the rest of the ride, before we get to the drop, I find pretty mundane. So despite the drop being an A, I'm gonna have to get the total grade for this ride a C. But going back to the drop, this drop right here, this drop makes the ride all worth it. Don't skip out on this ride because I give the overall grade a C. The drop's gonna make it worth it for you. But from start to finish, Popeyes and Bluto's Barges, a better water ride. And now we move on to Skull Island, Reign of Kong. One of the more popular rides here at Islands of Adventure. Usually has one of the longest wait times other than Hagrid's. But how do I feel about the ride? What kind of grade am I going to give it? Without a doubt, the animatronic Kong at the very end of the ride, one of the biggest and best you're ever going to see anywhere. So the animatronic's an A. I love that animatronic. The rest of the ride, it's pretty good. I mean, the whole thing's pretty good, so when it's pretty good, I gotta say, that's a B for me. But again, these are just my opinions. It's okay if you want to make this an A. If you want to give it an F, I'm okay with that as well. It's all about what you enjoy. Personally, I'm going to give it that grade of a B. And just as a point of reference, an outside point of reference, Islands of Adventure often wins best theme park in the country. It's always in the top 1, 2, or 3, so not just me. A lot of people are saying a lot of good rides here at Islands of Adventure. And now we come to the first real kid ride at Islands of Adventure that we have to grade. I think what I'm going to do with this, I'll grade it as an adult, and then I'll pretend to be 8-year-old Rick, and 8-year-old Rick will give it a grade as well. Okay, here we go. Adult Rick, I'm gonna give it an F. That's right, our first F of the day. Not very thrilling, and it is so short. And often the wait time's really long for it. So you gotta wait a long time for not a very thrilling ride, and the ride itself very short. That's an F to me. Kids, are they still gonna complain about it being short? I remember being a kid, and or having my own kids as well. If something's like too short, they're really disappointed in it. And this is a really short ride. They may enjoy being up high. You know what? Let's say the kids are gonna, we'll give it a C for the kids, a C. F for adults, C for kids. The next grade we have to dole out is going to be for the Jurassic Park River Adventure. But I don't want to grade it here. Let's walk over to the splash zone for the grading. So this one's not so easy to grade. The start of the ride, oh, here we go. Did you hear it? Scream, splash, laugh. That's how this goes. The very beginning of the ride is awesome. I mean, when you're in the raft and your doors open up and that Jurassic Park music swells, it's a great feeling. You're gonna love it. But then we enter the part of the ride that I'm not crazy about. You have to take your hat off, and it's the part that's underneath the sun. So I'm burning my head. It's so bright. And you just, I mean, you see some big dinos. That's about the thrill of it. And then, oh, there's another one. And then we get into the inside portion of the ride. That's where the ride really picks up. And the big animatronic dinosaur at the end, right before this drop, that's an amazing animatronic. The drop itself, so much fun. So what to do with this? I'm gonna give it a B. This is a good ride, it's a B. I love the splash. and I love going through those big Jurassic Park doors, but portions of the ride I find a little slow. So there you go. You let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about Scream, Splash, Laugh, otherwise known as the Jurassic Park River Adventure? Now, as far as hanging out here by the splash zone, a people watching spot, this is an A. I love that Scream, Splash, Laugh. I could watch this just for hours, watching the fun of the splashdown. They're not finished building it yet. It won't be done until the year 2021, next year, but I'm going to go ahead and call it. The Jurassic Park roller coaster, it's an A. It's an A. I'm only doing rides today, not grading the shows and such, but the Raptor Encounter, I think is the best show here, the best meet and greet.
Welcome everyone.
Okay, here we go, into the Wizarding World. Am I going to be kind, or am I going to grade things like Professor Umbridge? Let's find out. So obviously, the facade grades out as an A. The queue grades out as an A. And the technology used in this ride is an A. Do you feel a butt coming? I have a butt coming, guys. But because this ride makes me sick, I can't give it an A in totality. You add everything together, I'm going to give it a B. This is a good solid B attraction here at Universal's Islands of Adventure. And now we come to Flight of the Hippogriff, another kid ride. How am I going to do this? The same way where like I grade it as an adult and then as a kid? I don't know. Let's figure this out. Let's figure this out. As an adult, I'm going to give it a C. But what about a kid? Let's talk to some kids. These guys are going to know better than me. How do you grade Flight of the Hippogriff?
A.
There you have it, 3 A's. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for giving me that point of view.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, let's head a little deeper into Hogsmeade. And there's one more ride in here we have to grade. I think, you know, this is going to be a pretty easy grade for me, right? Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, like several roller coasters melted into one. You've got launches, multiple launches, you got drops, you got a backward section. It's awesomely themed. What could I give this? This is an A day, all day, every day, unless it breaks down. Then it kind of sucks. Well, it is a pretty complicated coaster, so I mean there's a lot going on with it. So there's a lot of maintenance that needs to happen, a lot of safety checks that need to happen. So, but it has been doing better lately as far as not so much downtime. This is an A, like I said, an A every day, all day. Well, what do you guys think? I'm a pretty fair teacher, right? When it comes to doling out grades, pretty fair. But there's always the comment section for you guys to share your thoughts. Oh boy, no sooner do I say I'm a fair grader than we come upon my nemesis, Poseidon's Fury. What grade do you think I'm going to give this one? I tell you what, just to show you I'm a fair guy, a nice guy, let's start where Poseidon's Fury, the attraction, scores high. That's going to be the outside facade here. Just look at it. I mean, it is pretty amazing looking from the outside. But you know a but's coming, right? But let's talk about the actual attraction. But before I give the grade, did you enjoy the shots of the facade? I hope so, because that's the only thing you're going to enjoy on this ride. Or attraction, I should say. And you know, I'm being dramatic here. If you like this ride, I love you for it. Hey, it's a free country. Like what you like, don't like what you don't like. But as for me, I find it extremely cheesy. Cheese overload with the acting and everything that goes on in here. I've got to give this an F. Now, don't beat me up in the comments below if you like the attraction. You're free to do so. Just, you know, if you want to tell me it's an A, tell me it's an A. We're all part of the same teachers union, right? Just show me your grade in the comments below, guys. And just for the record, if I had Nikki with me, who actually does work out of school, she would not give this an F. We tend to balance each other out. I know she wouldn't give it an F. She wouldn't give it an A either, but definitely not an F. Okay guys, we need to head into Seuss Landing, the main kid area of Islands of Adventure. We have 3 rides to grade in here. We'll see how I grade when I get to them. Maybe again I'll do the adult thing and the child thing, who knows. I'm playing this by ear, guys. The High in the Sky Seuss Trolley Train Ride. Kind of akin to Disney's People Mover. For adults in the crowd, let's give it a C. For the kiddos, let's give this a grade of B. And next up we have the Carousel. Very akin to a carousel, guys, a carousel. So even as a kid, I was not a carousel guy. That hasn't changed. I will say the characters on this particular carousel, they are pretty cute. And I will say, my kids, my 2 girls, they really did like carousels growing up. So the adult grade, I'll give it a D. For the child grade, we'll give it a good solid B. For a kid, this is a good solid B ride. And maybe I was a little harsh saying it's a B as a kid. If I had my kids with me when they were little, you know what? They might would think it's an A. But you know, that's kids. You know how kids are. And the last ride in Seuss Landing, the last ride of the day, Cat in the Hat. Let me get out my red marker, give it a grade. Now before I give the grade out for Cat in the Hat, let me say this. The team members at every attraction, they're A's. Top notch, they all get perfect scores. Love the team members at every attraction. But you know, the rides, I'm giving fair grades in my opinion to the rides. Team members get A's though. Now as far as the Cat in the Hat is concerned, I think this is the best ride in Seuss Landing for kids and adults. I'd say for adults, I'm gonna give it a B. It's a B, mainly because of nostalgia. I'm sure we all grew up reading Cat in the Hat and Dr. Seuss. This is like being in one of the books. Go through this ride, it is like being in one of the books. And for that reason, since kids are a little closer in age to actually reading the books, I think for kids, this is an A. Cat in the Hat is an A attraction for kids. B for us big kids. Okay, let's walk on over to the U-Rest zone so I can take off my face mask. But I tell you what I'm going to do, or what I'm thinking about doing. You know, I've been thinking about doing live streams. I think my very first live stream will be at Studios, and in addition to just walking around chatting with you guys, we'll grade the rides over there. If this video does pretty well, I think that's how we'll do our very first live stream. Make sure you have that subscribe button clicked. Well, congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. And if you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. I mean, you just watched the whole video. Click the button. Oh boy, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. A lot of fun today, grading the rides. I tell you what, you don't have to grade every ride in the comment. In the comments, leave your highest graded ride and then your lowest. Let me know your high and your low, all right? And with all that being said, here's some cute little kids to do the outro.
Don't miss the